I think it's safe to assume that most of us are big fans of some actor or actress one way or another, considering that they star in some of our favorite films that we've come to know and love. But of course, like everything, we have people who become a little too obsessed with these public figures and will go to great lengths to show their dedication. But what if a crazed fan's obsession turned to dark and sinister motives? Luckily, I have a story for that, so get ready for this one. This is the stalking of Teresa Saldana. Saldana was born on August 20th, 1954, in Brooklyn, New York. She would be adopted at only 5 days old to her parents, Davina and Tony Saldana, which were of Puerto Rican and Italian American descent. Her first brush with performances was when she was only 12 years old, when she enrolled in acting classes after she could no longer be part of a tumbling team due to a serious shoulder injury. She would later be scouted after performing in an off-Broadway musical called The New York City Street Show in 1977, in which she was casted in the 1978 film Nunzino. She was most notably known for her role as Rachel Scully, the wife of Police Commissioner Tony Scully, in the 1990s TV series The Commish, which later earned her a Golden Globe nomination for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role. Another notable role includes Lenora LaMotta, the wife of Joe Pesci's character in the 1980s film Raging Bull. All of these are great accomplishments, and she was now a star to say the least. But these events would spark a series of terrible incidents Saldana would never see coming. Around March of 1982, the 27-year-old actress would captivate and gain the obsession of a Scottish drifter by the name of Arthur Richard Jackson, who was 47 at the time. His obsession began after he had seen Saldana in the 1980s film Defiance and Raging Bull. Perhaps his liking to Saldana was quite innocent in the beginning, but it would be soon discovered that Jackson had moved to the United States to be closer to Saldana. As Jackson's obsession grew, it became his lifelong dream and goal not only to find where Saldana resides, but to kill her and to die himself by execution so that they could live eternally together in the afterlife. Once Jackson arrived in the United States, he hired a private investigator to gather up any information that he could get on Saldana. One vital piece of information that Jackson would gain was the personal telephone number of Saldana's mother, Davina. He would then call her, impersonating a representative for Martin Scorsese, an American film director. He then claimed that he needed to reach Teresa to discuss a possible film role. Unknowing of his real motivation here, her mother would then provide Jackson with Saldana's residential address in West Hollywood, where he would wait for the unsuspecting actress. As Saldana exited her home in the middle of the day, Jackson would then ambush and attack Saldana, stabbing her 10 times with a hunting knife in the torso, in which she was just inches away from losing her life. It had been reported that Jackson stabbed Saldana with so much force and power that the knife that he had stabbed her with had bends in it. Due to the matter being committed in broad daylight, a water delivery man by the name of Jeff Fenn witnessed the heinous act from an apartment building, who would then subdue Jackson, saving the life of Saldana. Luckily, Saldana would survive this gruesome attack, and Jackson would be convicted of attempted murder and given a 12-year sentence, which isn't long enough if you ask me. While in prison, Jackson would continue to make threats to Saldana, as well as the delivery man who saved her life. He was sentenced to another 5 years and 8 months after sending letters from prison to a producer of a TV show on which Saldana appeared in, which Jackson stated that he was on a divine mission to kill Saldana, sending her a bombardment of letters. Saldana continued to live her life in fear. Jackson would proclaim that if it wasn't him, he had friends that could finish the job, and when he was released, he would find and finish what he had started. Saldana would suffer from anxiety and insomnia due to the constant torment. It would later be discovered that Jackson was later extradited to the UK for an unrelated crime, to which he would later die there in 2004 at the age of 68. Saldana would later play herself in a movie which was titled Victim for Victim, The Teresa Saldana Story in 1984, which I used the clips for in this video, telling her story, in which she also wrote a book, Beyond Survival, detailing the events of the harassment she endured after the attack. Saldana would then die at the age of 61 in June of 2016 of pneumonia. She would be remembered as a great actress and also an advocate for privacy, anti-stalking laws, and stalking victims. Alright guys, that's all for this one. Thanks for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you like the video, and I will see you guys next time.